Welcome to the GovGrants Technology Training for Service Providers for the Community Investment Program, Head Office Registration, and Provider Profile. At any point throughout this video, you will have the ability to play, pause, and replay this video at your own convenience. This video will help you gain a better understanding on how to set up your GovGrants account, complete the registration process, and the provider profile details. If at any point in the registration process you have any questions or concerns related to GovGrants, please contact 905-793-4234 or email cip@peelregion.ca. The Customer Contact Center will be supporting phone call inquiries for Phase 1 of the GovGrants rollout. If there is a program-related inquiry, the CCC will direct the call to the Community Investment Program. Learning Objectives. At the end of this demonstration, you will be able to log into GovGrants using your unique username and password, identify roles and permissions in the GovGrants system, navigate through the GovGrants layout panel, register a head office, complete the head office provider profile. So let's now begin. Table of Contents. The Table of Contents page identifies the information we will go through today, as well from what is in the training package that service providers received in the training session. This training manual is available on the Region of Peel website on the Community Investment Program page under Resources. Roles and Permissions. These are the roles and permissions that users have in the GovGrants system. On the left-hand column, you will see the GovGrant role column, which identifies the actions. Next is the primary user column, and the last column identifies the secondary user. At this point in time, service providers will only be registering a primary user. If you are unclear as to who needs to be registered as the head office primary user, the Region of Peel is recommending it should be someone in a senior position who has signing authority. For example, a board member, director, owner, CEO. The head office secondary user should be involved in the financial or administration of the provider, for example, finance manager, financial analyst, controller, board member, area or regional manager. Overview of the head office registration process map. These process steps demonstrate a high-level overview of the service provider's process to register a head office, along with the internal Region of Peel approval steps. Part A, Head Office Registration. Service providers will first need to register their organization to begin the process for GovGrants. As an external user, please ensure that Google Chrome is the web browser that is being used, as GovGrants only operates in Google Chrome. Copy and paste this link, http://peelregion.ca/community-investments/. The Community Investment Program, CIP, main page will be displayed. Scroll to the bottom of the page and click on the New System to Manage Your Funds expandable menu. The page will expand to provide additional information, including a resources section. Once you open the expandable menu under New System to Manage Your Funds, scroll down the page to see the GovGrants Sign-In button in red. Click on the red GovGrants Sign-In button. You will also notice that there is a section identified as Resources. There are useful documents that will continue to be added to this page. You are encouraged to come back to the website often to check out the new resources that have been added that will be of assistance to you. If you have any questions about the GovGrants system or how to navigate throughout the system, please click on the How Do I guide, which highlights frequently asked questions and answers are provided. Once you have clicked on the red GovGrants sign-in button from the previous page, the Community Investment Program landing page will appear with two carts. Click on the Community Investment Program cart by clicking on the View Details button. The Community Investment Program CIP homepage will appear. This page is currently under construction, and for the purposes of this video, the information has been blurred out. The most important areas on this screen are highlighted with red stars, which are the Sign In and Register buttons. Select Sign In as a registered user, or click Register if new to GovGrants, located at the top right side of the page to begin registering the head office. The sign-in page will now appear. You will need to ensure that the I accept the Region of Peel's Terms and Service radio box is checked off in order to continue in the process. New providers must read the Region of Peel's Terms and Services before clicking on the Acceptance radio button. Select the Register Now hyperlink. You will be directed to the Service Provider Registration page. Click on the Head Office box to proceed. Once you click on the Head Office area, it will expand with additional information. This dialog box will open and outline the 3 steps required for your head office registration. Please read the content and then select the Begin Registration button. You will be directed to the Legal Disclaimer page. Please ensure the non-disclosure agreement is read and then select the Agree button either at the top or bottom of the page on the right-hand side. Registration Step 1 of 3. In order to start the registration, please provide the following information for your organization. All fields that have a red asterisk are mandatory required fields. The system will not proceed until these fields are completed. Enter the organization's legal name and Ontario Corporation number. Then click on the Next button to continue. If you do not have an Ontario Corporation number, please send an email to cip@peelregion.ca. Important note: a provider must ensure that they have registered with Canada Revenue Agency, CRA, for their business number and program accounts, such as corporation number, HST number, and payroll deductions. The link is https://www.canada.ca/registering-your-business/tax/register-register.html. Using the Ontario Corporation number, the system will check for duplicate entries. If a duplicate is identified, please contact the Region of Peel. Registration Step 2 of 3. Enter the information in the required fields noted with a red asterisk. It is always a good practice to provide additional information where the fields are not mandatory, as it will provide the Community Investment Program with pertinent information for your head office. When choosing Division, click on the magnifying glass and a pop-up box will appear. You will be directed to the head office information page. Select Community Partnerships and then click Save. The head office address information fields will also need to be completed. Once all information has been inputted, please press the Save button located at the top of the page. Registration Step 3 of 3, Authorized Representative for the primary user. The authorized representative information will need to be entered on this page. You will see that the address information has been pre-populated from what was entered under Step 2. Once completed, click on the Save button. CAPTCHA page. Complete the CAPTCHA page by clicking on the I'm not a robot box. Then a new box will appear asking to select certain images. Once the images have been chosen, click the Verify button, then click on the Submit button. Confirmation notification message. You will be directed to a confirmation page. This confirmation will appear in green. Please write down the registration number for your reference. This page confirms that the registration was received by the system, and you will receive an email once the registration has been reviewed and if it is approved or declined by the region of Peel. Registration email. The provider's primary user will receive this email once they have successfully completed their initial head office registration as per the previous steps we just walked through. The registration number in the email should match the confirmation message that the user received in GovGrants. If not, please contact the region of Peel. The first email confirms that the service provider registration request for access to GovGrants has been completed and sent for approval. It also indicates that once the registration is approved, an email will be sent with the service provider's username and password to log into the Salesforce system. Please ensure that you record your registration number and place it somewhere safe. Part B, Region of Peel, Head Office Registration Approval. The designated Internal Community Investment Program Specialist will receive an email prompting them to log into GovGrants to either approve or reject the service provider's registration. Community Investment Specialists will be verifying information using all available resources. The primary contact will receive a series of emails confirming the approval and subsequent setup of a username and password in GovGrants. Once the Community Investment Program Specialist clicks on Submit, the service provider will receive an approval message. Note, if the internal staff disapproves the submitted head office information and indicates the reason in the comments box, the provider will receive an email to edit their information and resubmit the head office registration again to the region of Peel. Service provider emails. Email number 1. Region of Peel has approved the head office registration. The registration request has been approved and the reference ID number is identified in this example. A subsequent email from Salesforce will be sent explaining how to set up a username and password. Email number 2. Region of Peel has approved the head office registration. The service provider's primary user will receive a username. This example shows b.rubble@yotmail.com20 and a hyperlink to set up the primary user's password. Please check the username and write it down somewhere safe, as it will be required to log into the GovGrants system. Copy the hyperlink from this email into the Google Chrome web browser. GovGrants will not function properly in any other web browser. It is important that this email is actioned within 24 hours, as the link will expire. Salesforce password. The Salesforce login page will now appear. Enter a new password, which will need to meet the requirements of at least 8 characters, 1 letter, 1 number, and re-enter the password in the Confirm New Password box. Click Change Password. Please ensure it has been written down and saved somewhere safe. Email number 3. Region of Peel has approved the head office registration. This is the third email that will be received. However, once the setup has been completed of the password, you will automatically be logged into the GovGrants technology to complete the head office provider profile as per the instructions in this third email. This email directs the service provider to complete the task as per the instructions. GovGrants Layout Panel. Let's take a moment to review the GovGrants Layout Panel. A, the top navigation panel. This panel provides users with access to the following modules within GovGrants. Home, which is identified with a house icon. Funding opportunities, application, grants, and monitoring. B, left navigation panel. The left-hand navigation menu is present throughout the system. However, the sections and links within the menu change depending on the system module being viewed. This is the horizontal bar. C, My Tasks. This section is available across all system modules and provides users access to their pending and completed tasks. Your task number will be reflective of the number of activities you are responsible for. D, Dashboard Widgets. Pending Tasks Summary by Phase. This widget provides the user with the tasks assigned to them broken down by the system's modules listed in the top navigation panel. Pending Tasks Summary by Due Date. This widget provides the user with their assigned tasks grouped by due date of the task. E, My Workspace. This section is broken down into 4 sections: Files, Calendar, Notes, and Messages. At this point in time, the My Workspace component will not be utilized. When this becomes available for service providers to use, the Community Investment Program will provide notification. F, Grants Portal, symbol, handshake. This indicates the service provider has logged in successfully. G, Avatar or Person. To log out, click on the down arrow to the right of the avatar or person figure and select Log Out. Home page. Once logged into GovGrants, the home page will appear. It is a good practice to ensure that you are on the home page by clicking on the house icon. This is an overview of the home page that displays tasks. These are broken down into Task Summary by Phase and Task Summary by Due Date. As the home page has been selected, the left navigation panel will reflect the information associated to the Home tab. Tasks are also located in the left navigation panel. It is extremely important to remember that there are areas in the GovGrants system that require section saves and page saves. A good practice is to save, save, save. My Task Pending Tasks. By clicking on the Pending Tasks link in the left navigation panel, the list of pending tasks will appear. The head office primary user is now ready to complete the provider profile. Click on the green triangle icon under the Actions column to begin completing the head office profile. The green triangle may also be referred to as the play button. Part C, External Provider, Provider Profile Process Map. These process steps demonstrate a high-level overview of the service provider's process to complete the provider profile. along with the internal region of appeal approval steps. Once the user has clicked on the green triangle under the pending tasks, the user will be navigated to this page and will be required to review the page block header that includes the following: status bar, currently with provider. This means that the grantor/region of appeal has required the provider to complete the provider profile. Head office name. In this example, it is listed as Bedrock Center. Legal name. This is completed at registration. Head office ID, SP-49630. This is the number that you wrote down from the emails received. Head office status, active. Note that active means that the head office profile has been approved and ready to move forward for funds. Auspice, nonprofit. Head Office Profile tab. Under each tab, there will be associated sections that must be completed. Under the Head Office Profile tab, there is the Head Office Information section. You will notice that some of the fields are pre-populated from the registration process. However, the mandatory fields with a red asterisk must be completed. The following information will need to be populated on this screen: head office name. In this example, we have used Bedrock Center. Auspice, it is automatically populated. Registered charity, click on the drop-down arrow to answer yes or no. Registered charitable tax number, please enter the number. HST registered, click yes or no. Ontario Corporation number, this is also automatically populated. Incorporation date, please record the date the head office became incorporated. Email, it is highly recommended that a centralized email address is listed in this field so that the Region of Appeal specialists have a way to communicate with the provider. Phone number, enter the phone number of the head office. Fax and website, you will see that these are not mandatory fields. However, it is recommended that the more information provided to the Region of Appeal, the better. Address and billing information sections. Address information section. If the user needs to edit the address information, you can click on the blue pencil icon under the Actions column. If the user wishes to view the billing information details, click on the green eye icon. Or if the user wants to edit the billing information, click on the blue pencil icon under the Actions column. If the address is not the same as the billing address, the user will need to complete the information separately. Click on the blue edit pencil icon to add the billing address the same as the primary address. Click the billing address the same as the primary and click Save. If the address is not the same as the billing address, you will need to complete the information separately. Billing information section. Once the user clicks on the blue edit pencil icon for the billing information, a pop-up modal window will appear. Click on the box to confirm, is the billing address the same as the primary address? Click the Save button once completed. Primary and secondary contact sections. Betty Rubble is listed as the primary user who registered the provider's head office. No further action is required in this section. Please note, the box will only show previously populated registered GovGrants users. The New button will allow the user to add a new primary user. The primary contact area is displayed with all the pertinent information that was just populated in the head office information section. Secondary contacts section. This section will not be used at this point in time. Once this section is available, the Region of Appeal staff will communicate this information to service providers. Head Office Specific Information section. There are two forms that the provider will be required to complete under the Head Office Specific Information section. These forms are Community Investment Program and Authorized Members. Click on the green eye icon under the Actions column in the Program Area form, Community Investment Program, to complete this form. Community Investment Program Form. This form has 6 tabs associated to it. We will start with the Overview tab. Please take note that you will need to ensure you are in Edit mode to complete the mandatory information. The Edit button is located at the top right-hand corner of the page. Once you click on the Edit button, the system will recognize that you are in edit mode and this button will disappear. However, each time you click into one of the 6 tabs, you will need to ensure you click on the Edit button. Overview tab. The user will be able to identify which form they are completing as the drop-down box located on the top right-hand corner of the page, in this example, identifies Community Investment Program. Click on the Edit button on the top right-hand of the page to record the business information and executive director information. Authorized member for a nonprofit business information. Click on the Type of Organization drop-down box and select Nonprofit. The Executive Director information, you will be required to click on the magnifying glass to populate the contacts that have been created. They will be the only ones that appear. Select Betty under the Actions column. This is the first form. You will notice that by clicking on the Betty Rebel contact link, it has been populated into this section. Click the Save button on the top right or bottom right of the page. This is referred to as a page save. Saved Successfully notification. A green successful bar will now appear that the information has been saved. We are now going to proceed to the next tab, which is Nature of Organization. Nature of Organization tab. Ensure that you are in Edit mode. This is the screen that will appear prior to adding any information into the form. All areas that have a red asterisk are mandatory fields that need to be completed. Nature of Organization tab details. Enter the mission or mandate. Enter the long-term vision or where the organization will be in the next 5 years. Choose the sector that your organization falls under. For example, social services, child and welfare services. Select an available socio-demographic category. Please note that the system lists this as geographical region. And click the gray triangle icon to populate into the chosen field. You can choose more than one category by clicking the Shift button on your keyboard and selecting all that apply, and then click the top gray triangle button to bring it over to the right column. If you clicked a category by mistake, you need to select it and click on the bottom gray triangle button to bring it back to the left side column. Choose how many years have you been Region of Peel funded. Choose what Region of Peel alignment area your organization serves. Select the best option that aligns with the human service outcome. Click the Save button located at the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side. Saved Successfully notification. The green successful bar will appear that the information under Nature of Organization has been saved successfully. We will now move to the next tab, which is Operations. Operations tab. All areas that have a red asterisk are mandatory fields that need to be completed. Enter how many programs are offered to Peel residents. Enter how many full-time employees. Enter how many part-time employees. Enter how many contract staff. Enter how many summer employment staff. Enter the total number of active volunteers. Select yes or no if Ontario Works OW/Ontario Disability Support Program ODSP clients are served. If you select yes, there are two additional questions that are required to be answered. Enter how many OW or ODSP clients have been served in the last year. Enter what the percentage of OW or ODSP clients were served in the last year. If the answer is no, enter what estimated percentage of OW or ODSP clients would be served. Client Visit Information section. The user will be required to open the fields by clicking on the blue arrow under the Actions column in order to enter the information. It is your preference whether you open each row altogether or wait until you have completed the information in each row for the respective areas. Indicate the number of unique clients that are served according to the areas in the region of Peel. Number of unique clients. This figure represents the first time an individual, group, or family uses a service or program within your organization. Each time a Region of Peel resident, group, or family receives the same service, example, weekly check-in with their support worker, a visit to the food bank, a series of employment training workshops, that will count as a single number of 1, regardless of the frequency that they visit. If they are to enroll or begin a new program or service, this would increase the figure based on the initial visit, and reoccurring services will not be counted. Indicate the total number of client visits according to the areas in the region of Peel. Total number of client visits. This figure is the total number of all visits that a resident, group, or family attends regardless of service or program type. Each time a Region of Peel resident, group, or family receives a service, example, weekly check-in with their support worker, a visit to the food bank, a series of employment training workshops, each visit or service received will count as a single number of 1. To determine the total number of client visits, you would add up all the separate visits or single units of service provided. Next, indicate the year served. There is an eye icon located beside the title of unique clients and client visits. Place the cursor over the eye icon, which is an information button that will provide additional details. Then select the Section Save button. A green confirmation notice will appear. Click on the Back to Head Office Profile button located at the top right hand of the page. Click on the Save button at the bottom as the page Save. Financials tab. All areas that have a red asterisk are mandatory fields that need to be completed. Accounting Practices section. Select yes or no if there is a contract with external auditors to conduct financial statements. Revenue and Expenditures section. Indicate what the total revenue was for the last completed financial year. Indicate what the total expenditures were for the last completed financial year. Indicate what the surplus or deficit was for the last completed financial year. State how the surplus or deficit will be addressed. Indicate for the current financial year what is the projected total revenue. Indicate for the current financial year what is the projected total expenditure. Indicate for the current financial year What is the projected surplus deficit? State the plan to address the surplus or deficit. Select yes or no to any anticipated changes in the next 2 years that would impact the budget. Projected total revenue expenditure. The total estimate including any anticipated additional revenue or growth your agency expects for the current fiscal year. Examples of anticipated additional revenue may include annual fundraisers, approved funding expected to commence that year. For agencies applying early in the fiscal year, April or May, the projected amount can be the previous year's revenue. Agencies will be given an opportunity to update the information throughout the funding cycle. Debt section. Select yes or no if there is any debt. If yes is selected, click on the New button located on the right-hand side of the screen. A pop-up modal window will appear. Complete all fields that have a red asterisk. Click the Save button. The Debt Details section will now be populated after the save. Unrestricted Reserves section. Enter the amount of surplus or reserves. Click the Save button. Once the page is saved, a green Form Save Successfully bar will appear. COLLAB and Documents tabs. The COLLAB tab will not be used at this point in the service provider profile process. Once this functionality becomes available, the Community Investment Program will advise. Documents tab. The Community Investment Program requires service providers to provide documents as part of the provider profile registration, such as letters patent, current and year-end financial statements. In order to upload these required documents, click the Add button located on the right-hand side of the section. Adding attachments. A pop-up modal window will appear. All mandatory fields to be completed will have a red asterisk. The first tab is identified as Upload File from Computer. This is the tab that will be utilized. The Upload File from Workspace functionality is not active at this point in time for service providers. Once the workspace does become functional, the Region of Peel will communicate this change. Choose General under the Type drop-down box. Click on Choose File button. This link will go to your desktop to choose the location of your file. It is a good practice to have all your documents listed with the name of the document in a file on your computer so that it is easily accessible. As there will typically be more than one file that needs to be submitted in the Documents tab, choose the Save button to continue uploading files from your computer. Once all the files have been uploaded, click the Save and Close modal button. Upload file from computer. The description field also needs to be completed. Please indicate the type of document that has been attached. A green successful box will appear that the attachment was added successfully. Click the Save button. The list of documents that have been attached will now be displayed. Documents uploaded. The list of displayed documents are now visible. Under the Actions column, there are now 3 icons that have appeared. There is an orange cloud, which is the download icon, the blue edit pencil, and the red trash can. If an incorrect document was attached by mistake, click on the red trash can and repeat the previous steps that outline how to upload a document. A legend has been provided to outline the minimum submission requirements for the total annual operating budget dollars report. The user will be navigated back to the head office specific information section. The remaining form will now need to be completed. Click on the green eye icon under the Actions column in the Program Area form for Authorized Members. Authorized Members form. Authorized Members tab. Click the Edit button to ensure you are in edit mode. All areas that have a red asterisk are mandatory fields that need to be completed. Board of Directors Details section. If there are individuals that sit on the Board of Directors, indicate yes or no whether all positions on the board are filled. If no is chosen, provide an explanation as to what steps are being taken to recruit new board members. Indicate how many board meetings are held per year. Indicate how often are board's bylaws, policies, and procedures reviewed. List all active subcommittees. List current work being addressed or reviewed by these subcommittees. Associate button. Board of Directors section. Click on the Associate button located on the right-hand side of the page. A pop-up modal window will appear with contacts. Search for the individual by clicking on the magnifying glass under Contact. If they are already registered in GovGrants, choose the Select button. These steps will need to be repeated for each member that sits on the Board of Directors. Associate information. Complete the mandatory fields that have a red asterisk and then click the Save button. Continue the same process to add individuals for all positions on the Board of Directors by completing all mandatory fields. Then click the Save button. Status bar. The status bar is now displayed as With Provider. Click the Submit for Review button located at the top right-hand corner of the page. Please note that information will no longer be editable once the Submit for Review option has been made. This concludes the end of the service provider profile process for the primary user. If there are any edits required, it will be sent back for revisions. It is now with the Region of Peel Community Investment Program Specialist to approve the profile so that the provider is able to apply for funding through GovGrants. Part D, Region of Peel Service Provider Profile Approval. The Community Investment Program Specialist will receive an email through GovGrants from the provider requesting the service provider profile to be approved. The specialist will log into GovGrants. The 2 forms that the service provider completed will now be the responsibility of the Community Investment Program Specialist to review the information on the Community Investment Program and Authorized Members forms. After reviewing the 2 forms, the specialist will either approve or send back for revisions. The service provider will now receive an email from the Region of Peel advising that their provider profile has been approved. The provider is now approved and they will be able to apply for the available funding through the Region of Peel GovGrants technology. This concludes the head office registration and completion of the provider profile process. Thank you for taking time to watch this video.